Hello, this is the daily for March 2nd for Tuesday. Now, this first card that comes up, the Eight of Swords, definitely having to tolerate some kind of nonsense, or this is your way of responding to the mistreatment or the abuse or the neglect that has been taken upon you. We immediately fall into this victim mode. Now, what this card is also talking about is you're not tolerating anything in your life that makes you vulnerable in the wrestling match with evil. And it's almost like, you, to a certain degree, you can't afford, to harbor resentment. You can't. And this is what it's talking about. So, you weren't treated right. Okay, I get it. That's duly noted. Somebody treated you in a bad way. I understand that. It's understood. But now you get to forgive somebody. That's what this is about. If you'll do what God asks you to do and keep the confidence and the faith in God, He won't leave you or forsake you. This is the message for this card. Our circumstances may change, and you know that even though we're stuck indoors and we got a lot of stuff going on, but we're still the same people of God. Even though we're struggling, we are still all serving together and standing together. We all have to tolerate in our own hearts things, but there's some things we shouldn't have to tolerate. That makes us vulnerable to this attack. We'll never have, for some of you, you're allowing this situation to make you vulnerable for it to happen again. To allow somebody to mistreat you again in a certain kind of way. It's important you got to side with yourself in your unforgiveness or your anger or your bitterness and resentment, your hatred. You can't afford to do that. Your health can't afford for you to do that. For evil, we can't call evil good. We have to have the courage to say that evil is evil, okay? Ungodliness. But if you choose something ungodly, then you have the courage to say it, the perspective to see. Choosing something ungodly by not forgiving, not having the willingness to forgive. In this situation, especially if you have the opportunity. If some of you are looking for an approval of someone or the support of someone with this particular card, with the Eight of Swords. If you think you're going to keep yourself hidden or in a hideaway, in the hermit mode, until somebody decides to give you approval, it's not the way to do this. Some of you are trying to manipulate a situation by acting or pretending, oh, this is terrible. You've got me so down. I'm going to cry and I'm going to show you how sad I am, even though some of you are putting on fake tears. Some of you are not showing the real fear or the real anger. Some of you know that with your person or your partner, if you show tears, if you show sadness, if you show you withdrawing, that they're going to respond to that. But some of you are dealing with somebody who's used to you doing this. It's become a routine. It's Peter crying wolf, and it's not going to be accepted. It's not going to work out for you. For some of you need to rest. You just need to rest. You need to take a moment. You need to realize that your situation is not permanent. It is a temporary hold, so to speak. You can decide when you're ready to get yourself up and out of a situation that you're in today. This is for Tuesday. Okay? March 2nd. Now you're going to spend the rest of March being the victim, or you're going to get the hell up, stand up for yourself and say, you know what? Okay, they walked away. Okay, something's over. Okay, this is not what it should be. For some of you, this is talking exactly up your alley. You know what I'm talking about. These games. I'm just going to give them a little idea. I'm just going to give them a little hint. I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to say that. No, you need to say how you feel directly. Okay? Too many games played is where miscommunication comes in. I didn't know that you meant that. I didn't know that you wanted me to ask you out. I didn't know that you wanted me to do that. I didn't know that you wanted to be in a commitment. I didn't know, because you didn't tell them directly. You played a game around it. Stop beating around a damn bush. You don't have to be aggressive or mean when you say something, but be clear about it. Be clear. All right, so that is the energy for today. Next card comes up. The next card that comes up here is, in fact, the Three of Swords. So now we have the Three of Swords. So we have you writing things down and journaling things, trying to figure something out, trying to make a statement here, swearing that what happened before is not going to happen again. You've gotten up, or you've left, or somebody's left, somebody's walked out, but somebody's left you to the point where you're still remembering, or you want the souvenirs that, yeah, I was a victim. But for some of you, with this particular card, there's going to be a point here where you're going to invest more, and you'll invest more when you're awake and more aware into your life than you will when you're sleeping or you're not paying attention. With this card here, if you're going to take on a responsibility, or you want the responsibility of something, you have to show that you can handle the situations in your own life. For some of you here, it may be very important that you take the time to grow, to get stronger, to become more effective. And then you will see the results here. Okay, next card. The next card that is up for today's energy is, in fact, the Death card. Having to make a choice or decision. Deciding between two things. The easy road, the hard road. The complicated road, the complicated road, or the get right, get by road. The very fast road, the shortcut, or the learning road, the lesson road. Which one, honestly, use your head, which one, honestly, needs to be cut out? Which one? Because some of you are looking for a shortcut in life. There is none. End of story. The next card that comes up is, in fact, it's the Five of Cups. With the Five of Cups, this card definitely talks about, this card, sorry about it, you guys. I got my stuff all set up here and I'm messing it up. Okay, so with the hey, come on, stand up. Okay, so with the Five of Cups, stop worrying about what's happened. Stop allowing yourself to get so caught up in it. It's the same. It's the same as this card. It's the same. Same difference. You're still stressing and worrying. But for a lot of you, you have to see there's still good. There's still opportunity. You're going to find a hunger for something new. You're going to find out that when you were discouraged about the situation, all you had to do was turn around to get excited to see it's not as bad as you thought. For a lot of you, you may have had to pull yourself away from something. And yes, you did that. And you are definitely going to be able to rejoice if you just turn around. Don't pretend to try to understand something that I'm saying. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. But if it does make sense to you, then you'll know what I'm talking about. A lot of you have relied on a certain person here. You relied on somebody to help you to get to the next level. You relied on somebody to make big changes in your situation. You've relied on someone to give you the direction, maybe to pay your bills, to keep you above water, to keep your emotions intact. It is not this person's responsibility to make you happy. It is your responsibility. And today's the day where you're going to need to take on this responsibility, even though there is pressures here, even though it can be overwhelming. A lot of you think doing all this hard work isn't going to make a tremendous amount of difference, but it is. It is. And if you're willing to do the work and put the work in, God will be sure. He'll never turn his back on you. He'll never forsake you. You have to try not to overthink some things. For things might be not as fair as you'd like them to be. But that may not be your assignment. Your assignment may not have anything to do with how easy or how right something is. You have a course to follow here. You're assigned a certain course to be on. And grieving may be part of it. Hurting may be part of it. Laughter may be a part of it. Happiness may be part of it. But either way, your lessons, your burdens, your feeling of overwhelmingness is normal. But as long as you travel the right roads, as long as you go through the challenges and the lessons that you're supposed to, it's going to work out for you in the end. For some of you, I know it gets a little personal, but for a moment, for some of you, it feels like you're wanting to just celebrate. You're wanting to just get up that hill and be done with this. You're wanting to get past this point. And the only way to get past it is to go through it. And as you go through this, you're then going to be able to look back on the situation and be proud of where you came from. Be proud of the obstacles that you encountered and got through. Be proud of the fact that you're able to stand so much taller, that you know what direction you want to go in now because of everything you've been through. You are willing to leave the past behind in so many ways. For a lot of you, the blessings are coming. You know exactly what it is that you want now. Now that you've been able to separate yourself from where you were and have yourself to where you are, now you're going to be able to celebrate something and rejoice. You're going to be able to take advantage of testing the waters in a different area, whether it's work, whether it's your family, whether it's where you live, whether it's who you're with. You're going to be able to test the waters again. You're going to be able to try something brand new. You're going to be able to give something a better shot than you had a chance before. Because before, when you were dealing with a toxic person, you got stuck. You had to make a choice. You had to make a decision between two things. The energy shows me, just like the Seven of Wands, that you had to struggle for everything. You had to keep fighting back and forth. You had to avoid people's daggers coming at you. For a minute, you did have to stay by yourself. No doubt about it. You had to sit alone. You had to figure it out. You had to forgive. How many different people hurt you, stabbed you in the back, so to speak. You had to call on your higher power. Ask for help. You had to get involved with some meditations to balance yourself out. You got very strong in your situation and got to make a choice or decision to stop something. Right now, I want it to stop. At that point is when now you were able to stand up and walk away from something that was no longer serving you. Some of you will be doing a little bit of travel today. For some of you, you're going to find the love of your life. You're going to find where they are. For a lot of you, you may feel like, okay, now all shit's all mixed up now. Now I don't know what to do. Don't have to do anything. Because somebody's coming in and they're going to hand you love very quickly. Very quickly. You say, well, who's that going to be? Which one is it going to be? You'll know. You'll know it's the right one. You will know.